Welcome back. We go on over to the fancy-looking Mike Eppel today. Thank you for dressing up for us. Looking very nice and spring.
A little bit with the blue.
The blue and the yellow tie combo. You're looking very fresh.
Spring, for goodness sakes.
Except it feels like minus.
I know.
No big deal.
I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get out the yellow and get some spring feel in the wardrobe.
All right, looking good, looking good. And as for the markets, looking, fill in the blank?
They're okay.
Oh.
Which is kind of, it's best I got for you.
Yeah.
Look, we had a 6-day winning streak. Things cooled down yesterday with those comments, the cautious tone coming from Dr. Anthony Fauci related to the idea of restarting the economy too quickly and then getting a second wave of COVID-19 this fall. So investors kind of took that and went, okay, it's been a nice rally here. We're still not sure how the economy is going to recuperate. This idea of the V shape, sells off or drops dramatically and then the bounce back on the other side. A lot of analysts are saying we're fighting a medical crisis, but using economic policy. And is there actually a disconnect? Can those two things work or correlate? And today, the talk out of Washington again is that the Democrats in the U.S. Congress are going to propose a $3 trillion government stimulus plan, and some of that would be actually bailout cash for U.S. cities and states, which have seen their budgets blown apart by the pandemic shutdown. I mean, New York State's running, what, a $65 billion deficit?
Yeah.
The governor was saying just yesterday, and they're going to need money. But the Republicans are saying, wait a second, we've already ponied up $2.5 trillion. The numbers are just exponential. And we should wait and see how that actually works, if it does. So again, politics offsetting some of the medical concerns in the near term. You got that battle, I suppose, or juxtaposition, whatever you want to call it.
It's going to be going on for some time. Let's talk a little bit about Uber and Grubhub.
Talk is that Uber wants to buy Grubhub. They're not close on a price yet. And whether this deal would actually be approved, there's already rumblings out of Washington. Wait a second, Uber is predatory. They're not exactly happy with the way Uber operates sometimes at some time. But Uber wants to buy Grubhub because, look, the talk is that people aren't using ride-hailing services as much as they were. What is on the uptrend? Delivery. And this is, Uber's main game, and same with Grubhub. So maybe a deal, maybe not. We'll see what the price tag is and whether or not it gets some resistance at the political realm. And we're going to be talking about food delivery apps in just a little bit later on in the show. Let's talk JCPenney. I know you've been following this story for quite some time about how they're doing financially, and not great. Yeah, the talk is that they are going to file for bankruptcy protection, a Chapter 11 reorganization as of Friday of this week, which would help them get out from under massive debt loads at the same time. They've already got $450 million in credit financing lined up. So it's not necessarily, we hear about companies going bankrupt. That doesn't necessarily mean the brand goes away. They reorganize. They, figure out a deal for cents on the dollar with their creditors. It's not unlike a consumer proposal, I suppose. You come out the other side, you restructure, and, maybe close some stores. The talk is that they've got some financial backing and should continue to exist. But, other brands have disappeared, Melanie. And this is a long process, let's face it. There are going to be companies that do not survive the pandemic shutdown. Yeah. Others that are going to, companies like, Liquidation World and others might actually reap the benefits from all of this because you're going to see huge stock inventories being moved along here from mainline retailers. Lastly for you, Mike, we've had a lot of conversations about people working from home. We know most people are, unless you're an essential worker. But the Twitter CEO putting out a pretty big statement when it comes to working from home. Yeah, work from home forever. Forever. Jack Dorsey saying it's working, so why not, right? And some people are going to be hesitant to go back to an office-type environment. And you're going to hear this more from tech companies. I mean, they were the first to shift to the work-from-home environment already prior pandemic, and I think this is going to be a new trend. It really is, honestly. And you had that story yesterday about productivity, and it really only going down so much because a lot of people are accessible all the time. They're working at all hours, right? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And maybe they don't miss the commute. That's true. That is very, very true, Mike. All right. Thank you, as always. Looking sharp, sounding good.